Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, for today's video, I have this for you. Transgender terminology for you guys. Anybody out there who just wanted to know what all these words mean, I'm going to tell you. But I could, put up some screenshots of the definitions, but I'm too lazy for that. I might go back later and do that in a separate video in a year or so, but for now, I'm just going to explain things for you guys, okay? So we're going to stop with the two basic terminologies having to do with someone who is trans. Okay, and those words are sex, what your biological sex is, whether you have a vagina or a penis. Pretty basic, right? Next word is gender identity, and I've written down the definition for you guys. And someone's gender identity is a person's perception of having a particular gender which may or may not align with their birth sex. Sounds pretty basic, pretty simple, right? Okay. Next word, which some of you may or may not know, and that term is cisgender, and that simply means people who are, well, not cisgender. I mean, people who are not trans. For the majority of the people on this planet are cisgender. They identify as the gender that they were assigned at birth. The next one is a two-worder one. One is gender dysphoria, which is your own with trans people is the disconnect that you feel toward your biological sex. And there's also the flip side called gender euphoria, which basically stands for people who have transitioned and they feel the sense of calm or peace being the gender that they are mentally. The word is kind of controversial because it was like it could be a SJW term because it hasn't really existed that long, but I don't really care that much. Next word are two words. They are AMAB and AFAB. AMAB stands for assigned male at birth, and of course, hold on. And the other one is assigned female at birth. ABAB and AFAB. The next two are quite controversial, so bear with me, everyone, please. The next one is transmedicalist, which is what I am. I identify myself as a transmedicalist, transmeds for short, or it's also called true scum, but it's more on the transmedicalist. It is a group within the trans community or even outside the trans community that believe you need to have gender dysphoria to be trans, which you do. Gender dysphoria is the feeling that you have. It's your push to transition. It's the thing that makes you trans. Otherwise, because if you don't have gender dysphoria, then you're not trans. There's a lot of people that, and I'll touch on this next one. This next word is Tcute. The name sounds cute, but the definition isn't. Now, people who are Tcute believe that you don't need gender dysphoria to be trans. Obviously, it's quite ridiculous, because why would you transition? There's literally no push for you to transition if you have no dysphoria whatsoever and you were perfectly fine in your birth sex. So it kind of, yeah, it's a little, both terms are quite controversial. and both quite hated terms. I'm a Transmed, and I'm proud of that because I don't understand why people would go on hormones, change their name, go through the process of transitioning when they were perfectly happy and perfectly fine in their birth sex and their birth gender. It just doesn't really make sense to me. And I really don't like it because people who don't have gender dysphoria, they end up transitioning, and they end up essentially taking resources from people who really are trans, who actually need those resources. And yeah, it's just not a good thing. The next words are passing. Passing is a somewhat failed concept, according to some people. Um, Passage, you pass so well as, for example, I am a trans woman, so I would for example, I would say, someone would say, oh my gosh, you pass so well as, say, a woman, because when either so passing as a term means you pass so well, someone would never have guessed that you were born male in my case. This next term, which I don't like because I don't like the trans people who do it, and that is stealth, which basically means trans people who live their lives and don't tell people that they're trans. Which in everyday life I don't have a problem with, but it comes with dating and having sex with people that I find it so toxic and dangerous. I touch more on stealthing in my video. He didn't know I was trans, a discussion, and I'll leave that right up there in the cards. Alright, thank you guys so much for today's video. Please do comment, like, subscribe, and please do comment down below. Let me know what you think of any of these. Also, if there's any Tcutes watching, I would love for you to comment down below. Give me your side. Explain to me how you can transition without dysphoria. I'm more than happy to listen to the other side of other people's opinion. So, I mean, I might even be able to better understand you and might even change my mind. I'm not sure that will happen, but I'm always open for open discussion on things. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright. Bye, guys.